Daniel, we are back after the long summer vacation 2.0. We almost recorded last night. Fluke accidents happen. Uh, may or may not have individuals in black suits just knock on my door based on my Twitter activity, but that's for a different podcast. Here we are, Dan. Uh, like I said, long summer vacay. How are we feeling about wrestling right now? Some crazy news dropped about what, 2 hours ago? 3 hours ago, I would say.
Yeah, probably about three. Yeah, two or three.
That we'll get to later on in the show about WWE pulling from Peacock 6 months early. I mean, WWE's pullout game is strong, some would say, Dan, right? I know, Jesus. like,
Stronger than Big Jim's, that's for sure.
yep, that's true. Yeah, because
Keep going up. Very nice. Thank you.
Big Jim likes to Netflix and chill, which was hysterical that they let Naomi put that on Netflix. I get like it's Netflix, but
It's very nice.
but just hysterical that that was a WWE product doing it, right? Like
Yeah, yeah,
so.
for
Um,
sure.
yeah, I mean, so where do we want to begin, Dan? We had a little bit of news come out about the Hulk Hogan thing, which just I was explaining this to my wife earlier when we were running errands that Bubba the Love Sponge, basically a radio guy, explaining that Hogan wasn't doing good. Everybody said that's not true, and then all of a sudden we get the notification that he passed. We also have to talk about WWE and Peacock, what's been going on Raw, and what to expect at Clash at the Titans. So Dan, oh, and Jericho coming back to WWE. I guess that's a huge rumor.
I saw that rumor too. Yes, yes, yes.
So since I delayed this podcast an extra day, where would you like to begin, my friend, my business partner?
Right, I think we should just go right into news because I'm going to be honest. Like, there's not a lot going on in the shows right now, in my opinion.
No,
There's not a
it's
lot. There's not a lot there. We're in that summer lull for
it
sure.
feels like they're
Post
coasting. Yeah,
SummerSlam lull.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Won't
Well,
pick up again until probably next month sometime, getting into closer to Survivor Series, I think.
which is wild because this crowd at Paris is going to be absolutely insane.
Yes. Yes. I am excited for that,
Right? Like,
mostly for the crowd, to be honest.
yes, yeah, no, yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, what did I say? The crowd? I can't remember what I said now, but yeah.
No, 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 you did, but I mean,
Uh,
like, I'm more excited for the crowd than the show, is my point.
yeah, no, I agree. Like, you could put anything in front of them, and it's gonna look electric. It's like it's just gonna look
Right.
electric in that place. Um,
But,
I
like,
get
the card isn't, like, moving me all that much, to be honest, yet.
no,
There's one match on it I'm interested in,
I
for
kind of,
sure.
I kind of called the Bronson Reed versus Roman thing, which I
Yeah.
hate that I was right.
Which I have yeah, I have no interest in that.
I would rather see
I mentioned
Braun.
this last pod. Right.
Like if
Go ahead.
no, yeah, screw it. Let's just start talking about what's going on with Raw then, because it's going to be very short, I think. But Braun's supposed to be the guy for the next 20 years, right? That's the whole goal. They probably see Braun
Yeah.
Breaker as 15, 20-year guy, right? Stays healthy, doesn't flip
Something
over,
like that.
doesn't flip over any tables at any Comic Con events like his uncle does, and like to talk out of his ass. He should be the guy for the next 15, 20 years, right?
Yep.
Why not put him in there right now? Like, I get it's Clash at Paris, and you're probably. My fear is they're. Know how Drew was supposedly the bloodline hunter?
Yeah.
I think somebody backstage thinks it's appropriate to make Roman like the hunter of the faction or whatever Seth is calling this. I think he's gonna go one by
The
one. I think every pay per view,
Vision.
yeah, he's gonna be every pay per view. There's gonna be one guy from the Vision because supposedly he's not pulling out anymore for the movie. Did you see that across the internet last night? It's not as
I didn't. That.
it's not as long as it supposedly people originally rumored it to be. It was more of like hearsay. He's going to be gone, but he's still going to be able to hit things to be involved. It's not going to be like
Interesting.
he takes a beating and then he's gone.
Interesting.
Yes. So that's what we had that concern, right, with Cody, because Cody's in that film as well. How do you keep putting on shows that don't feel like you're coasting if you don't have Cody or Roman? I mean, Seth is great, right? People call him this generation Shawn Michaels. I, I don't know about that, but if anyone's closer to Shawn, I think it's Randy. I think Randy's the closest that we've ever been to being Shawn at his prime. He understands what to do in the ring in any scenario. He understands the mental aspect of it. He knows when to feed off the crowd, and he knows when to go against the crowd. And I just think that's the closest we've been. I don't know if there's anyone else out there that you could say is right there with Shawn, but I personally I have a fear that this vision is going to get boring. And you're not just going to be able to keep bringing the show back to Philadelphia so Paul can cut ECW type promos. They keep it to.
I already think it's boring, to be honest with you.
All right, so we're
To a degree.
60% there. Yeah, I thought they would have a fourth person by now. I don't understand why they don't.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I don't. I don't get it either, and I just don't like. I don't know. I don't know. We're definitely in a lull. Just overall with the shows, we're in a lull, and whatever that happens.
Yeah,
We've talked about this. You can't you can't put on WrestleMania shows every week, like
right.
because you set it in too hard of a standard to meet all the time. So you're gonna have this, but they're not doing anything currently to like refresh anything
No,
either. They're just like we're starting every show with what a Seth promo, a
Paul
Punk promo,
or Paul
right?
stepping
Or
out there
Paul
to interrupt somebody. You had Jay what 3 weeks in a row, 2 or 3 weeks
or
in a row.
Jay. Yeah, like you've got 4 or 5 guys that are starting every show Monday and Friday,
Yeah,
basically, in some iteration,
yeah,
right? And okay, but like it's just the same thing over and over again. And now the endings are becoming the same too, right? Like somebody's involved and then they all get involved and then Roman comes running out and then Roman and Jay are clearing house or CM Punk and LA Knight are clearing house or CM Punk and Jay are clearing like it's the same 7 guys rounding around and then somewhere in the background we're going to have John Cena and Cody somewhat active, I guess, but Cody's not even on this card in Paris yet. I don't even know if he's going to be. Um, I don't know. It's just stagnant. It's just stagnant. So hopefully we
yeah.
get through it.
I
Well,
mean
we
they.
know we will, but
Yeah, yeah. I don't think it. I don't know. I'm trying to pull up the matches now, but it's taking a little bit to load here.
I think there's only. I was just looking earlier. I think it's only 4 confirmed right now.
And what do they got? 2 weeks, right? Because it's the 31st.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm sure we'll get. I don't think we'll get more than
Oh,
6.
it's 2 p.m. show.
Yeah, for us. Yeah. The
Interesting.
old time change.
Good old time change. Yeah. Let me see. Hopefully that loads soon. Yeah. I mean, obviously we don't expect them to bat 1,000 every time, right? But
No.
uh, I don't know. I feel Like, it's wild that we're getting into the routine that the best part of the show is the last 20 minutes when Roman comes by.
Yeah.
And you're getting to the point where the crowd knows it's there, right?
Right.
And it's like they could blame dirt sheets because like Hunter loves to do that, or he'll say, the wrestling journalist on Twitter, and it's like, all right, buddy, like don't be sarcastic about it when you used to have these wrestling journalists in your conference room after shows. All of a sudden, until you brought back Brock Lesnar, and now you don't want to answer any questions. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so
Right.
it's kind of, I don't know. It's tough because like as of right now, they have the featured superstars being Cena, Paul, Rollins, Punk, LA Knight, and Stephanie Vecchier. Um, you're obviously getting Bronson and Roman because you saw Roman mouth, "I'll see you in Paris," right?
Yep.
You're getting Punk, Knight, and Rollins in a triple threat, or is it a four-way for the title?
It's a four-way. It's it's Punk, Jay,
Yes,
Rollins, and LA Knight.
you got that.
So
Stephanie gets a shot at the women's title. That'll be a
yep.
decent match. She's always on top
Right.
of her game. I mean, you don't have Gunther in here to fill any time because he's out on the IR. So
Right.
you don't have him lethargically
I
just.
would assume we're gonna get a woman's match. So I don't know what, but I would
Besides the
assume we're
Stephanie
gonna have
match?
one.
Besides the Stephanie match?
I didn't even see that confirmed.
She has a shot at the title. That's why she's the one of the feature ones. Because she won that battle royale or whatever.
Oh, that's not even listed on the thing I'm looking at right now.
Is it thing interesting? I
Match
believe.
at
I could be
Paris.
real wrong.
Either that or what I'm looking at just isn't updated. That's all.
Oh,
Four
and
one one
Shaman
four
versus.
one one Mania doesn't have it. They only have the 4 matches.
What's
I
the
no,
third?
maybe her match is somewhere else.
Interesting.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Maybe they're saving it.
I thought her.
Oh yeah, it does say that in this article.
Yeah.
Clash at Paris.
Yep.
Well, that's weird. None of these sites have it. I guess they haven't really talked about it.
Nope.
Maybe that's why it's not on any of these official cards. So if you count that, I mean, so I have the 4-way Logan Paul versus John Cena, Roman versus Bronson, and then my least favorite idea that I talked about on the last podcast,
Versus in Sheamus.
Sheamus versus Rusev. And I just like, I'm like, I don't need it again. But so I guess yeah, that should be the 5th one unless they're swerving it and just deciding to do it a different night. You're right though; it was announced that way at Evolution.
Mm-hmm.
So, but none of these. I just looked at 4 different sites. None of them have that.
Well, and it's not even on the WWE one either.
Oh, it's because Naomi's pregnant,
Yeah.
so it's canceled, and maybe they're probably changing the plans because the title's vacant.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yep. But it's wild because Stephanie hasn't even been on TV.
Yeah. So I don't know what they're doing, but I guess we'll find out.
So yeah, I mean, overall, like it was funny watching Roman mock Seth at the end of the show when he was like dragging that leg. Did you see that? He
Yeah.
kept mocking like that was funny because he does it pretty well, and um, like the look that Bronson gets when he sees Roman is like pretty. You could tell it's pretty real. Like he's full into this character of I don't like this guy. He even said on the Sam Roberts show that Roman has big awkward feet and his feet are too big for a foot job or something like that. He said, which is hysterical.
Oh, shit.
But like, I guess I don't know. To move on from this, like, what? How far out do you think we get Roman and Seth?
I don't know. This is the thing. I don't know what they're doing. Like, I agree with you. I think they're just gonna like keep running it. Like they're gonna run it against. He's gonna have to face Bronson Reed, and then he's gonna have to face Braun Baker. Then they're probably gonna set up some sort of tag match or a three-way, a six-man tag, and like it's gonna be a lot before we actually get it. I think. Um, I don't know. I really don't know what they're doing.
What if they saved that for WrestlePalooza?
Yeah, God, yeah, that's another one to discuss. Um, yeah, I mean that's certainly possible. Maybe
Yeah, I'm.
WrestlePalooza is such an odd name for them to use.
I mean, the best thing to come out of Raw in the past 2 weeks. I hate saying this because I think like the promo stuff with Paul and doing the ECW triple promo and um Jay coming down to the ring like New Jack was cool. But the best thing was Naomi. Like her promo, how the crowd took to her, how she got to say like she's gonna be off for some time, blah blah blah, right? Like that was like that like that's been the coolest thing.
Yeah,
Other than that, I can't tell you the difference between the last month and a half of Raws, and I think I'm one SmackDown behind. So like,
right.
and it's not that
Yeah,
I don't think they like. Now I know we'll probably get some critics saying, "Well, it's you guys say that AEW doesn't have storylines," and it's like, well, no, that's not what I'm saying. I don't think this is a storyline thing. I just think WWE gets, like you said, they get in a lull of where they're kind of like saving their star player for like the seventh, eighth, and ninth inning, right? And then that's when they let everything go. But to get there, you got to go through this. So it's like,
right.
so yeah, it'll be interesting. More to come from us on Clash in Paris next week because we'll probably know more of them. You probably got to think what we get a match from SmackDown for that, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think we have to get some sort of women's match, and yeah, probably a match from SmackDown. Although they've really blurred those lines completely now too.
Yeah,
So I don't
yeah.
know if they're gonna unblur them for Survivor Series or not this year, or probably not because it's War Games still.
You know what they
But
should do, Dan? Go back to the draft. I always love that.
well, they probably will randomly do that, right? Like,
Yeah.
well, it's not really. They don't really do a draft anymore,
All
right? They
right.
do like a shakeup or something.
Yeah, where like Vince had to come out and say Raw has selected, and it was like a 3.5 hour
Right.
show, and there was no matches, just promo videos, and that's what they would show.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, good thing I got a World of Warcraft subscription. I could skip tonight. Like this is just, but yeah, um, yeah. So I mean, it's not bad. It's not the greatest they've been either. It definitely feels like they're getting prepared for something, and now to tie this in, like maybe they're preparing to pull something big off for ESPN. Because did you see that ESPN removed all AEW references and videos and stuff?
I didn't see that. I didn't even realize they had any, to be honest. But so I definitely didn't know that they removed them. I didn't know they existed in the first place.
This says ESPN has removed the AEW tab from their website.
Hmm. It's funny. I didn't know they had one. That's so funny.
Yeah,
See that's gonna get interesting now that you say that. Like, I mean, whatever it is, what it is. But that's very interesting to me that like ESPN will do that, because did they do that to like Bellator when they signed with UFC?
Nope, you could
Because like
or
if
or
you're going
PFL or F1 or
right,
what was the kickboxing one too? Oh, because I used to watch the kickboxing one. But yeah, they
right,
never did.
like
It was
if
all
you're
on there.
going to tell us, yeah, if you're going to tell us that you're like the worldwide leader in sports and entertainment,
Gotta carry everything.
but you're not covering a competitor of the company you just signed a giant deal with, which like, okay, yeah, like I get the business side of it, but also like you have deals with the NFL. You don't, they still have a CFL tab. Not that that's a real competitor, but it is a competitor, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it's not them, so it's a competitor.
right. Like you have deals to air a lot of sports. It doesn't mean you don't cover the other ones, like the other leagues. So that's interesting, like that would happen. It also like makes me kind of question like what's the specifics of this deal. Like I thought it was just a rights to air the programming deal. Is there more to this if you're blackballing other promotions?
So I don't know if you remember this. I said when we thought Vince was getting ready to sell, I don't even see WWE on the More Sports page.
I know they used to have something for sure.
Oh,
I
so
haven't looked in a while.
you know what it is? They just no, AEW is still there. If you go to the professional wrestling, they're there. Oh, it
Oh,
says
okay.
no. They have the title, but it's a page error when you open it up. Um, what if this is a slow play
That's
for?
hilarious.
Yeah, what if this is a slow play for Disney to eventually buy WWE? Here, I'll show you. See if it loads.
I guess, but
See?
yeah, there it is. Pager. Yeah. Yeah, I just got it too. Um I guess, but I don't know why TKO or Endeavor would do that now. Or
If
TKO, I guess.
they think they could just flip it, right? Like if they feel like they could get WWE to a certain point where they're like, listen, like we got look at what we did with a year and a half of what WWE. Think about what Disney, the brand Disney can do, taking it over. But then you know those shows are gonna drastically change.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose that could always be on the table, but it
Yeah.
just seems like TKO, like, it's such an investment that you've made already to just like flip it. Like, I feel like, I think, I mean, for me, I think they're doing these deals just because they're just trying to get in as much money as possible. And
Agreed.
ESPN put out a good deal that probably, my guess is Peacock wasn't going to match. So,
No, because what was the deal again from ESPN?
um, let's see if I can find the numbers. It was 1.6 billion over 5 years.
So
So 325 a year, roughly, somewhere in there, 325 million a year.
so I think I remember uh um well, this is funny. 2 hours ago, Peacock and WWE agree to a multi-year partnership exclusively live stream iconic Saturday night main events. So they got 2 years of Saturday night main events.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, that's a separate product that they've
Yeah,
pulled out, right? Like,
but
it's like Raw and SmackDown,
um,
NXT, right? Like Saturday Night's Main Event is its own like product, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, it's.
So Peacock was paying 200 million a year.
And I think they bumped it
Now
up to
ES
275, and they said that's as high as they would go, and then that's when they went.
yeah,
Yeah,
so they
I
went
think
with
I.
325 from ESPN. So
Yeah, I believe it was 275. Uh, yeah, so 6.5 billion over 5 years, like you said. Yeah, this. I feel like I don't know, man. Yeah, 275, and with the option to go up around 300, and WWE said no. So here's how it goes. NXT PLEs will continue on the streaming Peacock until March of 2026. WWE Network Library will be on Peacock through the end of 2025, including classic matches, documentaries, and original programming. Saturday night's main event, Peacock secured exclusive rights to stream this iconic series 4 times a year, including John Cena's retirement match on December 13, 2025. SmackDown Library remains on Peacock with the 30-day delay while Live SmackDown airs on USA Network. Crazy, man. And now, like we said at the beginning of the show, they're stepping out on Peacock 6 months earlier. But Peacock does get John Cena's retirement match on December 13th in Boston.
right.
The direct to consumer service launches August 21st tomorrow and will cost $29.99 a month. An introductory offer, as we discussed prior to the show, includes Hulu and Disney. It costs $39.99 a month when bundled with a new Fox One streamer. The fuck is Fox One streamer?
Yeah, that Fox
Oh,
program,
that sport, bro, get out of here.
that Fox like sports thing that they were partnering on.
Nobody wants to watch Las Vegas Tech at 10:30 at night take on Southern Baptist Temple in a 9-3 Friday night football game. Like, and ESPN does not currently have deals with Xfinity, which is wild, Cox, Optimum, or YouTube TV for subscriber authentication, but customers of DirecTV, Hulu, Plus Live TV, Charter, Fubu is strange, and Verizon Fios will have access at no additional cost. So as I'm reading this now, I should have access at no additional cost.
Yeah, not me.
Well, Dan, you know the door code. Just pop over. Bring a pumpkin spice. Um,
I just yeah, I just might for $300 a year.
so that's what I brought up to you before, and I didn't want to get too far into that. What are your thoughts? I feel like that.
I mean, I don't like it. I don't like it in general, right? Because like, look, if they told me 18.99, I'd just be doing it. It's
Yes,
the $30 price point that bothers me,
yes.
but I like this is the way of the world. This is becoming the way of the world. Like as more and more people are basically running away from true cable packages for the most part. You know, your Spectrums and Xfinities and Comcast, like whatever it all is now, and I guess to a degree, Direct TV and services like that, Dish Network, if if those even exist in the way they used to. Um, People are just running away from that, and you know, a lot of them, I guess, went to things like YouTube TV, Hulu Live, and Sling. But I think even that is getting to be less and less for a lot of people because at the end of the day, I can't even tell you, other than now SmackDown, I can't tell you the last time I turned on a TV service to watch a cable channel, right? Like a lot of sports I can get on the locals with an antenna, right? For the most part. Not everyone, but most of them. When I want to watch something, 99 of 100 times it's coming off of Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, HBO. And for me, it's mostly Netflix and HBO. I actually don't even think I have an active Hulu account now because I was never using it. So I got rid of it. And I don't currently subscribe to Paramount, but that may change because there is some good stuff on there I want to watch. So I'm trying to think just quickly in my head. So I have Netflix, and I hate, for the most part, I never buy them with ads. I always upgrade to get no ads because ads in the middle of movies are annoying. So I don't
Well,
really mind it with like shows, but
yeah,
movie or whatever. So I have Netflix, HBO Max, Amazon Prime, which I guess just comes Prime Video. It comes with your Prime account. So like,
and Prime
I'm gonna
Music.
have this.
Prime
Yeah,
Music
that's
did.
having an Amazon like regular account, right? Like,
Well, don't even get me started on them.
well, I'm just saying, like, I'm not giving that up anyway, and Prime Video is a benefit of having that. Although I think I do pay the extra to have no ads. Um, so Netflix, HBO, Prime Video. I'm probably gonna end up signing up for this. Like, if I'm gonna sign up for something, I'm probably gonna end up signing up for this bundle of
The
ESPN,
$30 a month.
yeah, Hulu and Disney, and a lot of the Disney stuff. I never, I had Disney Plus on and off, but to be honest, like for me personally, I'm not like huge into Marvel and Star Wars and all that. So like the real benefits of Disney Plus for a 43-year-old single guy with no kids didn't really matter for me because I didn't care that much about those two
Oh, bro,
franchises.
Toy
Not
Story
enough.
4 slaps. Toy Story 4 is.
I'm not saying it doesn't, but like as a 43-year-old with no kids, it's like I'm not gonna watch Toy Story all the time.
Yeah, Dan.
But
I'm hurt,
listen,
but
you
go
have
on.
a much different reason.
Yeah, I would. Well, yeah, I would like to say I didn't have Disney Plus before the kids, but I gotta be honest, I was still watching that.
Well, you're married too, and that helps. So,
Yeah.
but I did have it for a little while because I was watching The Mandalorian,
Yeah.
right? So, like, but then I got rid of it. But I might go back to that, and then like Paramount Plus, I keep talking about, so I'll probably get Paramount Plus. Like, the reason I got away from cable was because I was tired of paying $130 a month or whatever. Well, you do the quick math on that, I'm going to be right up there again soon enough
Well, I already showed you with
with all
Hulu
these streams.
with Hulu Live TV that comes with the Disney Plus and ESPN Plus. I'm at $96,
Yeah.
and then you think I pay 169 for HBO for the year. So break that down to whatever it is.
Yep.
And then we have Peacock because the Premier League games from now until May, to get the full coverage of them, you have to watch them on there. Some do show up on USA and some do show up on other channels, but full coverage, you need that. So that's what, $10 a month without $12 a month now without ads.
Yep.
So it's like yeah, I don't I don't agree with Nick Khan's comments. Did you see his comments?
I don't remember him. I'm sure I saw him, but I don't remember him.
He basically said he doesn't think that this is a big switch for people. He basically came across as like he believes outlets are blowing it out of proportion that they're switching from Peacock to ESPN because of the price difference.
Yeah, I think it's misguided because I think he's saying like, well, look, for $30, you're getting us and you're getting access to ESPN and ESPN2, right? Like live channel. Like you're basically buying a ESPN cable package for $30 a
No,
month.
right, and
So, and you're getting ESPN Plus, you're getting all the original stuff they're doing, and they're going to be doing more. And so you're getting like a lot of stuff, and I get what he's saying there, but I think it's misguided because it's like a lot of your people didn't care about that. Like
Right, because they're only there for
again,
WWE.
right, again, like for me personally, and I know I'm not going to be like everyone here, but like for me personally, I'm not watching ESPN.
No,
Like I don't watch Sports Center.
no.
Like Monday Night Football's on ESPN, right? But like I don't really, unless the Bills are playing, I don't care about Monday Night Football all that much, right? So, and if the Bills are playing, it's on locally anyway because that's the rules with the NFL. So, I don't need ESPN for much. And like, yeah, there might be a few games here or there. You know, Sunday Night Baseball, Red Sox,
Yeah.
Yankees. Like, yeah, would I like to watch those? Yeah, but it's not the end of the world, you know. So that part
I
is what I don't like. I
it
think is misguided there because is there value if you wanted to use if you were a big fan of ESPN Plus
the overall
and
value
you
is there.
wanted
Yes. The
yeah
big picture
and
scheme
you
it's there.
wanted access right
I think this
that's
aggravates.
all there
Yes, 1,000% agree. I think this is what aggravates me because this is the same guy and the same company that came out after COVID, and cities like ours, in like Buffalo and Rochester around us, and Syracuse, and Hershey, PA is only getting a show once a year now instead of twice a year. Like they basically told us because of what happened during COVID, the pricing of things now, they have to cut these smaller market house shows, which people love going to house shows, and then they can only carry these shows once a year in these areas, and the tickets are double the price. Like, what has it cost us
right
to go to Raw? Like, what did we pay? 202 a ticket with tax and fees,
yeah something like
right?
that
For the last Raw that was in Buffalo?
yeah something like that
I remember when tickets, like, I could score like a upper 100 level ticket for like 105 with tax and fees included. Now it's double the price. I have an issue that, yes, they think this is good for business based on what they're branding with, but I feel like they're alienating a lot of people. But you know who I think this does help? TNA and AEW. If TNA can get onto CW, like people have been talking about, if that's truly gonna happen, and they get a show once a week, just think about like the families that are like, I would rather just keep that $30 month to just save up for a vacation, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not spending that $30 a month on just the programming to watch once a month, while I could put this aside and it could take care of things forth. And AEW, they're still gonna be on TNT and TBS, so people are still gonna get all their shows. But maybe this is the
well you can get
opportunity.
you get it through HBO Max too
Yeah, right. And then maybe this is, they start saying, "Hey, we're gonna do this special show, maybe once every quarter, and it's gonna be on TNT or TBS," and they treat it as like a PLE, but they're just gonna give it to you on TNT or TBS. They're If they play this correctly, and this stutters out of the gate like I think it's going to, I think AEW can make some massive, massive ground in viewership with this. The only sad part is like there's no TV deal for TNA yet, or I think TNA could jump on that ship too. I think the longer they waits for TNA to get a TV deal, I think the longer it hurts them for not being competitive in this market. I think this is the
right
opportunity for them to just jump in and say, screw it. Like, even if they get like Spike TV, right? Like, Spike TV gives them 2 hours once a week, or FXX3 or whatever that friggin' channel showing up on my package now as. It's like, just, what I mean?
FX yeah
Yeah, like, just something like that. So they're out there and people are like, all right, well, I know you want to watch WWE. We can watch them on Mondays and Fridays. But we can watch this other programming too on Wednesdays and Thursdays. And then TNA does a show on Saturday evening, like it's been rumored about. Is the kid gonna care about seeing the PLE once a month, or is he gonna be happy about seeing all the wrestling that he possibly can? Right, like that's what it's gonna come down to. Like, what is
I think I think
it's gonna be depend on
see.
what
I
they
don't think it's
like.
gonna. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna stumble out of the gate, and
I
I
don't.
think it depends on the age, like to
Yeah,
me, because the young kids are gonna be begging their parents to make sure they can see the superstars that they love,
yeah,
right? Because they don't know half the guys in TNA, or to be honest, they probably don't know any of them for the most part, unless they came from WWE, right? Like the little kids, they're gonna want to see Roman Reigns,
yeah,
right? They're gonna want to see John Cena. They're gonna want to see whoever, right? Like college kids, they might just want to see wrestling. So you're right. They might fall into that. Plus, they probably have less money and they're not going to spend $30, right? Or one of them is going to spend it and 10 of them are going to watch it, right? Like together in a dorm room or
yeah,
wherever. So our, but like our demographic, I'm not sure where our demographic's going to fall because it's like we like wrestling as a general sport and idea, but we want to see WWE just as much as we would want to see anything else that's good. So, like to your point, yes, when TNA is really good, we're going to make sure we watch it. When AEW, if AEW gets really good again, we're going to make sure we watch it. With the exception of one or two shows a year that we're not interested in with WWE, we're always going to watch WWE. So
yeah,
I think it's interesting for sure. It's the biggest impact to cord cutters, right? Because like you said, you're going to have access to it already because you're invested in a cable program that you can log into it using that activation, right? I'm not going to have access to it. So I'm going to have to buy into access, right? Like that's where it's going to hurt people is the cord cutters. And to my point earlier, that's where it gets a little interesting because at the end of the day, all these cord cutters are going to be right back up where they started with the whole reason why they cut cords in the first place. Now, you can argue they get a lot better value now because cable, with the exception of like, I'm sure a limited DVR service, right?
hmm,
Like the libraries, the original content, right? That was Netflix. It was all about the content library that you could just watch over and over again, right? Now it's that plus all the originals, right? And all of them are doing it. I didn't even think about it. I didn't even mention it. I know you. I think you still have this, and you like it. Is Apple TV, right? Don't you? Do you still have Apple TV
we get it when
as a
it
subscription?
we get it when they bring back Ted Lasso. So on and off. So like right now, we're gonna get
Okay.
it to watch that Jason Boa show. So that's one that we fluctuate with. But yeah, that's good too because
Yeah.
but like they have MLS soccer and then they do baseball too at on Sunday nights now. I think
Right.
so. Yeah, it's tough. It's just tough because I don't know. Like growing up, I always felt like the wrestling kids were the kids. Like we were the kids that like we just enjoyed sitting home watching wrestling, and a little bit had to do with it of like because we didn't really have the financial means for our parents to like take us out and do these like big things like that like some other kids got to do. So like I feel like that's a better way of trying to say what I meant before of like I think it's going to alienate a good population of that would like buy up those like 200 level tickets and all that. Like just because now they probably feel like, well, I can't afford this. Like this sucks. But then again, I also have a fear now. I was thinking about this like just before we started podcasting. We could see a spike in tickets too because now if people can't watch the PLEs, are they going to be willing to spend a little bit extra to be at the events?
I mean, I'd be
Like,
shocked if they saw all that much of a spike because, like, look,
Yeah, it
when
depends
you're
on the
talking
show, right?
about,
Yeah.
well, even a regular show, like, look, I look at it and I say, look, am I going to go to a show? Is it more likely I'll go to a show than it is because I can't watch it and spend probably 200 to 300 bucks? That's my year of being able to watch it. You know, I mean, like, that's one way I rationalize things. And actually, when we were talking to your dad earlier tonight, right? Like, it's one less trip here. It's one less. It's 5 times less a month at Starbucks. It's like I try to rationalize it that way, but then of course you have to then follow through with saying you're going to cut your spending somewhere else. You know,
Yeah,
so I don't know.
it's gonna
It'll
be
be interesting
interesting.
for sure.
Yeah, I don't think even if they do stumble out of the gate, I don't think we'll find out on at least 3 to 6 months down the line because there's no way that ESPN's gonna let that know. Unless we see like a
Oh,
drastic cut when they were like, "All right, we are just kidding about $30 a month. Here's 18.99 a month or something, right? Or 19.99 a month," and they drop it
right.
$10. Then it's like, oh, something must not be going over well there on the ESPN campus if all of a sudden you're willing to take off 120 bucks a year. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
yeah, if it was at that 19.99 price point for the year, 20 bucks a month, I would do it. I would do it right now. But anyways, I mean, it's just I don't know. We're in weird times, and now I feel like I have to sit down and dedicate a portion of my Saturday on Copilot, just figuring out if I'm getting the best deal for my streaming packages.
For
Like,
budgeting your streaming. I know.
yeah, just not even all the bills. Just what's the best. You know what I mean? Like, it's just wild. Um, yeah, but then it's also crazy that they let the UFC walk as well. Like, that's a whole.
I mean, for that price though, I would have let him walk too.
Yeah,
It's triple the amount they invested in WWE.
yeah,
Triple.
yeah. Which,
Well, actually, it's more like, well, triple per year. It's probably more like 6x, almost 7x of what they, right? That deal was for $7 billion, right, over 7 years or something. $1 billion a year, and they're only doing 325 a year, 325 million a year. That's got to be why. I mean, $1 billion a year? That's crazy.
yeah.
And I think I read that's only going to cover like 28 shows a year.
Well, the next time he smacks his wife in public, he'll have a good piggy bank to go get the best attorney for. So, yeah, well, because he's not going to do that with all the shows because he loves to take them to. Um, he was talking about Fight Island, and then he likes to take them not Saudi, or is it Saudi? He's
I
he's a
think they did one show there.
he's a big proponent of like getting back to Saudi because he, he said because they have cash over there, and it's like, yeah, no shit, like it's called blood money. Like, what are you talking about? But
Yeah.
so that'll be interesting. But yeah, that will be
Yeah. I
interesting,
mean,
Daniel.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see for sure. It does suck for the people that aren't really interested in all the other things ESPN has to offer.
Yeah,
That's the problem. If you're not interested in the other content, then it really doesn't matter. What also could be a weird domino effect too, though, is this is becoming close to the highest streaming service there is, price wise, right? If it works, are these other streaming services going to all start to raise again? Saying, well, look, these guys, does Netflix look at it and say, well, we have WWE and we show you 52 shows a week of WWE? and you only pay 21. Now you're going to pay 27, right? Like, it'll be interesting to see that too. If they test what like the real tolerances are.
Well, Dan, we'll have to wait and see, but that's how business works, brother. You know, I
Oh,
guess.
I know. I get it.
But I just caught this AEW All Out Toronto Saturday, September 20th. Russell Palooza in Indianapolis, Saturday, September 20th. So they're using Russell Palooza to go head to head with AEW.
Yeah, which I guess they did the other day too, or like the last show too, right? It was like going up against it or something, or is Clash in Paris going up against one? Oh no,
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't be going up against one, I guess. But
Interesting. Interesting. Um, Side note as well. There was something else I want to bring up to you. You brought this up, I think, 2 or 3 podcasts ago. Your boy Cody wants to write a book, but he said a huge chapter is still locked.
I mean, what? Basically everything he's going through now.
Uh, Everything with AEW.
Oh, what? He has an NDA.
I mean, that's how I took
NDAs
that.
are NDAs are typically for life though, so that chapter is always going to be locked. Like, I can't imagine they have an expiration on their NDA, but I suppose that's possible. But
Yeah, it's interesting, man. Right? Like, it is interesting. How you feel about that?
the book or the locked chapter?
Like, just the fact that he was like the founding member and he can't write his own biography because it deals with AEW.
I mean, look, he signed it. The NDA, like, obviously, like, and he alludes to it. He just recently was on another show or podcast, and he alluded to it of like, look, it's not a lot of bad blood, but obviously I was very angry about what was going on there towards the end, especially with like the idea of a heel character. And it sounded like they just weren't willing to let him do it. And I know he said before too, maybe he wasn't ready to be an EVP type guy, but also like the situation wasn't great, it sounds to me like him and Tony in the end just didn't get along because he still praises the Bucks and Kenny as being friends and all that kind of stuff. So unless he's completely lying about that, seems like Tony and him were the issue. So
How?
I don't know.
Gun to your head. What is your thought? What do you think it is? Do you think it's Cody, Kenny, or Cody versus them all, or do you think it's Cody and Kenny are cool, Bucks are kind of iffy, and then Tony and Cody aren't seeing eye eye? Because I have my own opinion on this.
To be honest, I think he's cooler with the Bucks than probably Kenny to a degree. Like, I
Really,
don't I
that's
really don't
interesting.
understand the dynamic of Kenny, like with any of that. Like, and maybe it's because I just don't know enough about Kenny in general. But like, I get the sense that Kenny is on the outside of everything related to the business for some reason, right? And maybe that's because, like, in the end, he realized too, this isn't for me, right? Like, this was cool to help get it started. It was a dream, but then sometimes your dreams become your nightmares, right? Like, and he probably was like, I don't really want to do all the backstage as much as I want to wrestle. I want to be free to go other places. I want to have fun. And running a business isn't always fun, right? So I actually tend to think that Cody has a better relationship with Matt and Nick because he often talks pretty well about them. And I think there's been little like Easter eggs of him talking about like he has text messages from them after shows and things like that. Like, so I actually think he's pretty close with them. I think Kenny was brought in by them to the foursome. Like, I think it was Cody and the Bucks leading the charge to start AEW to a degree. And I think it was them leading the charge to do the original All In or All Out, whatever it was called. I think it was All In first, right? So the original All In, and then the Bucks were like, "Look, we're really close with Kenny, and he's like a main liner for the crowds we're looking for. Like, you know, you got to have him involved." So it's like, all right, so him and Cody know each other, sure, friendly, obviously New Japan ties too, right? Blow Club ties, whatever, all that stuff. Then they get Tony involved, and it's a honeymoon. The honeymoon phase ends relatively quickly, I think, and Tony is the money guy. So at the end of the day, it's what he says, and they start to crack a little. And I think Kenny is and this is all just guessing, but I get the sense that Kenny is just very much like, I'm not here for this. Like, I'm not here for the drama. I'm
I
not
could
here
see
for the
that.
bullshit.
I could see
I'm not
that.
here for the politics, right? Because there was this was a long time ago, but there was that live stream or Twitch or whatever he was on where he was playing video games and just fielding questions. And he was talking so highly about Roman Reigns in the middle of the Roman Reigns run and in the height of the WWE AEW quote unquote war, right? And he's sitting there going like, "Yeah, I'd love to face Roman Reigns. He's the top of the game right now." Right? Like, I just think he's like the chillest of all of them.
Yeah.
He just wants good wrestling. He just wants wrestlers to be successful. He doesn't care what brand you're wrestling under. Um Nick and Matt, I get the sense that, yeah, they're homers in the sense of like AEW's their thing. So like they're gonna do what they did and they alienated Punk and all that kind of stuff. But that they're close with Cody, right? And probably have been close with him for a while. Um, and they're in his circle as well. And then Cody's there going like, "Look, I want to be a businessman. I also have a passion. It's in my DNA. My dad did this kind of stuff, right? My brother does this kind of stuff. But we don't have the same vision, meaning him and Tony. And the Bucks, yeah, in the end, maybe they fall more to the company than they do choosing a side. But by falling to the company, they kind of fall with Tony. So, but yeah, no, that would be my guess. I just get the sense because like Cody is often talked pretty highly. I think specifically about Matt Jackson.
Yeah,
So
I don't know.
the shorter one.
I have a tough time believing that they didn't feel a certain way when Cody wanted to leave. I think I'm 100% I'm 100% in agreement with you based on Kenny because I've been following Kenny
Yeah.
from Do Japan. Like he's always the guy of like he doesn't mind being the funny guy in like the being elite videos that they used to put out, even if it makes him look stupid. He just wanted to have a good time, put on a good match, go back home, play with his cat, and play video games. Like that's pretty much it.
Right.
That's
Right.
like he's very like outside the ring. Like he'll say hi to fans and stuff, but he's almost very introverted. Almost if you come across him, like he sticks to himself.
Yeah.
I I think the issue is I don't know. I have a theory that something went on, and obviously the Bucks and Tony took a side. Cody said that's fine, but listen, I just want to walk and go see if I could do this over here now. And they probably tried to bind them. Dude, you were Stardust over there. And I just think maybe some things got said when he wanted to split. And for him to be able to split, he probably had to sign something he didn't feel he should have had to sign being a founding member. And now he's kind of, you know, in purgatory of like, can't really do much about it now, right? Like, so.
Yeah. I guess it doesn't surprise me the more I think about it, because he knows everything in that sense, because he was there from the
Yes,
beginning as an
yes,
EVP starting the company. So he knows all the skeletons in the closet, right? Like he knows
yes.
all the the backstage stuff. So that might be part of it, and maybe that's something that's required of all four of them. I mean, you don't
Yeah,
see Kenny. I thought a long time ago, didn't we hear that Kenny kind of converted out of being an EVP
yeah.
and
He
was
didn't.
just a wrestling
Yeah,
contract
he
guy?
didn't want it anymore. I think the article said.
Right. I bet you he has the same NDA, right? Because he has a lot of knowledge. So yeah, I mean, I think your theory's plausible,
I just don't
but
trust
there's a
the.
part of me.
Yeah, go on. I'm sorry. Go on.
I think Tony probably felt that way, right? I don't know if I think the Bucks felt that way, because the only reason I say that is because I feel like the Bucks at the end of the day recognize it's like, look, you gotta chase the dream and chase the spotlight and chase the adrenaline. And if you're not getting it here, and he was under a stipulation to never challenge for the world title, right? And claim that he was going to keep that promise no matter what. And they weren't letting him. The only thing he's alluded to is they really weren't cool with him doing that semi heel turn that he was going to do, and like thought was working well, and then it sounds like somebody put the kibosh on it. So I don't know. I don't know, because look, if something went a little sour with them for AEW, it would not shock me one bit if the Bucks went to WWE someday. It really wouldn't. I'm not saying WWE would or wouldn't want him. I'm just saying, like, look, if things change a little bit and maybe they say, I'm out for this too, and they sign the NDA, and then they show up on a SmackDown one day, wouldn't shock me. Wouldn't shock me one bit.
Yeah,
Didn't
I
really shock me when Cody did it. You know,
no.
shocked me a little when CM Punk did, but I was so happy about it I didn't care.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's like all the bad PR that the Bucks have been in, like in regards to the Punk stuff, and then like not wanting to meet an attorney and all that fun stuff. I just have a tough time believing like it's more of that. I do think Tony is, if the Bucks are 30% of it, I do think Tony is 70% of it for sure. Because Tony probably felt like, why do you want to go back there, right? Like, um, so I get it. I do. Um, I just, yeah, it's interesting, man. It's interesting, but hopefully, fingers crossed, we one day get that book from Cody. So we'll see. Um, moving
Yeah,
on,
I
real.
mean, if he's
Yeah.
under an NDA, I don't think we're ever gonna get it
It seems like
unless
we've.
the company goes out of business.
Yeah, that's which. There's gonna be a whole lot of wrestlers that have nowhere to go. Um, few headlines I wanted to bring up to you before we jump to the Hulk Hogan stuff. Karrion Cross showing up at Defy Wrestling. You see that? He has a date booked for Defy,
Yep.
so it is real. Did you
Yeah,
see?
I I didn't think it wasn't ever not real, to be honest.
I thought
I
they
don't know
might have
why.
been started to. Going into it. I was thinking maybe they thought the R-Truth stuff worked so well. Let's try it again with Karrion. Did you see why he turned it down?
I saw his interview with Helwani, right?
Because it didn't have his wife.
Yeah. So
So
that and they couldn't tell him the reason for the valuation they put on him.
yeah, which I believe Punk brought that up as a problem before when he did his original pipe bomb. He said like he was having issues with that. So I'm not surprised that's still an issue. Not surprised. Um, yeah, I. You think there's still? we're working on it behind the scenes. Yeah, we'll give him 3 to 6 months. He could travel, do these house shows, these indie companies. Let's see what buzz he brings.
No, I don't
You
think
think
they're
he's
working on it behind the scenes. I just think that, like anything, in 6 months, there might be an opportunity and they'll bring him back that way, right? Like, but I don't think they're actively saying, like, let's keep in touch every 30 days. You know, I just get the sense that if they see an opportunity and they feel he could be used, they'll reach out and they'll go grab him again, or try to at least. Um,
if
to me, it's kind of like why they haven't brought back Cardona. Like, there's got to be a reason, and it might be
yeah.
partly Cardona, and it might be partly they're not interested right now. And I feel like there was a missed opportunity there when he was at the height of his like
King of
indie
the
thing
Death
to at
Match,
least bring
yeah.
him in,
Just
even
to
if
show
for a
up.
short time.
They yeah,
Right.
they could have easily brought him in for like a
A
rumble or
rumble.
something. Just let him show
A
up at like
rumble.
15.
A rumble. A short program. You know, I don't know if they actually are interested in like 6 month contracts or something like that, but maybe, right? Like, bring him in and then, whatever. But they haven't. But that doesn't mean tomorrow that won't change.
No,
They'll
right,
see an
agreed.
opportunity, you know, or they'll see something where they could say, we want to refresh something with Cody. And Matt Cardona has been connected to him for a long time now. Let's bring in Matt.
Let's bring in
Let's
Brandy
throw
before
something with
that.
Cody with Matt. I'll be fine with that. Although I don't think she's doing it. I think she's enjoying motherhood too much.
Yeah. Well, she's constantly on the bus with him still, right?
For now, I guess until the kid goes to school, yeah, I think
Yeah.
they are traveling a lot. So definitely there for all the big shows.
Right.
So I don't know. Yeah, I get the sense they're not. And to be honest, I kind of think that way about most of the talent that they end up either releasing or not renewing, where they're not actively working on getting any of them or keeping in touch with any of them as much as it's like I'm sure they have somebody over there that is keeping tabs on all the promotions and all the people in general and saying like, hey, this person's getting pretty hot. We should consider either a return or a signing, right? I thought I read like a month ago. This is just very random, but it makes me think of it. I thought I read a month ago that they had interest in Danhausen.
They still do. There was. Did you see the post over the weekend from him and Punk?
No, I don't think I did.
Come on, Dan.
The birthday thing, where he said like this guy keeps showing up or whatever.
Yeah, and then there were the few sites that published a story on that like WWE never lost interest in bringing in Danhausen. Oh, and just in case if you're wondering, Killswitch has returned, Dan.
Great.
Jesus, Dan. Um,
I hate that name for him.
yeah,
I don't think there's anything wrong with Luchasaurus. It was unique
yeah. It's
to
just
a degree.
yeah.
I mean, it's not, it's no Mr. Iguana, but it's still pretty good.
No, right, agreed. Um,
I love me some Mr. Iguana now.
well, you know, you know who else you should follow?
Oh,
You know, I showed you one of his batches and you turned it off immediately.
oh no, we're not having that conversation again. Sexy Eddie does not grace my television sets. Like, no, no.
It's great, Dan. All right, let's jump into. Oh well, real quick before I forget, we have confirmation of the 11 left appearances before he retires. John Cena. Did you want to hear him?
Really?
Yeah, as of right now from Fightful. Uh so John will headline WrestlePalooza on September 20th. So I wonder who that's going to be. Oh, that's Brock.
Probably, yeah.
Then
Yeah,
he
especially
has
if they're going up against AEW, they're gonna do that.
yeah. Then August 22nd, SmackDown in Dublin. August 29th, SmackDown in Lyon, France. August 31st, Clash in Paris, France. September 5th, SmackDown in Chicago. September 15th, Raw, Lowell, Massachusetts. September 20th, WrestlePalooza. October 11th, Crown Jewel, Perth, Australia. November 29th, Survivor Series, San Diego. December, retirement match. No date on the retirement match yet, but just says retirement match.
Yeah, I read an article. They're still potentially targeting, I think, the 13th, but there was like discussions about trying to do, I think, the 28th, which is an AEW show.
Yeah.
But also, like, I think there's like NBC has sports obligations that night, so like that's very unlikely. Probably NFL or something.
Yeah.
Well, Saturday night. Oh no, yeah, Saturday night around Christmas and New Year's they do a Saturday night game for football, so it's probably that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know. What are your thoughts? Like, not bad, right?
Yeah, it went quick.
Yeah.
Already down to 11 from what, 40 dates?
Yeah.
Went very quick.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
You can tell though, he's like ready. Like in some of
Yeah.
these interviews he's doing,
He's
he's just like,
exhausted.
he's exhausted, he hurt, he aches, right? Like, like you can tell, like, he's not going to be the guy that comes back, like, to wrestle full time,
No,
like, or whatever.
he
Like,
he even said when he's back again, like he'll be back again, but when he's back again, he's gonna be in a full suit. That's what he's gonna be in.
right.
He's not in gear. He's not in his sneakers. Like full suit. That's what he's comfortable wearing now. He's full Hollywood. So yeah, interesting. Gonna be great. Gonna enjoy those next 11 shows, and um, we'll go from there. But yeah, so ready for the crazy stuff, Dan?
Sure. Let's go.
Do, do, do. So, Bubba the Love Sponge is back in the news again, which no one ever gave him his credit for being right the first time.
That is true.
Not that he needs credit that Hulk was going to pass, but the fact is, they kind of came out and I think his wife basically, Hulk's current wife said that Bubba was lying. So that's kind of, I get it. Like, it's personal, but I don't know if I would, I don't know. I think I would have just ignored that instead of coming out and saying he was lying, but to each their own. But I guess Bubba the Love Sponge is back out there today with at the Bubba Army on X, then, not Twitter. Uh, says Hulk Hogan's daughter Brooke is getting all kinds of DMs from nurses, cops, and others who were there that claim something bad is going on here. He argues that only an independent autopsy outside Scientology's jurisdiction can prove what really happened to Hogan. I didn't even know he was involved with Scientology.
I didn't until I read that after his passing that like his wife, I think his wife got him into it. His current wife is a Scientology person because I think there was a interview I think with Brooke about it and asked a little bit about like the Scientology church and the impact of the relationship and something about like she said something along the lines of like, look, his wife treated me with respect the few times we communicated or something to that effect, right? Like um so yeah, I did not know he was into Scientology either and I was like, "Oh, that's different."
Yeah. Uh, uh, Honestly, and he added that only a toxicology report and a verified cause of death would end the speculation.
Well, it's too late for that. Way too late for that.
Yeah.
They cremated him real quick. That's my understanding.
Well, and I guess Brooke, in a recent public statement, offered to personally fund an autopsy to help resolve the questions. But obviously,
Yeah, I thought I saw that headline too, but I'm so confused because I thought he was cremated. Like, I don't, they can't really do it from the cremated remains, right? Like, what are they going to do?
no, he hasn't been. Supposedly, he hasn't been
Well,
cremated yet.
I thought he was. That was the whole, like, problem, right? Was that, like, he was being cremated. The cremation report, which isn't an actual autopsy, it's just a report before they do cremation that like certifies a few things, which was basically like cause of death and stuff like that. Yeah, look it up.
Okay, yeah. So ABC News got the cremation report. Okay.
Well, this website from a couple weeks ago, Channel 4 News in I don't know, some city in Florida. Hulk Hogan's wife is making sure every question about his medical care is answered as Brooke Hogan is growing suspicious about cause of death and lack of an autopsy. Oh well, okay. So yeah, no, you're right. Sorry, I'm wrong. I just like I don't know where like, there's so much confusion on this, but the wife the wife posted on Instagram on the Wednesday after. So wait, what's the date of this? August 8th. So on the 6th, she posted on Instagram. Terry chose cremation knowing this physical life is temporary and his heavenly body is eternal. He has not yet been cremated as our family is making sure every question about his medical care is answered first. Once we have that peace of mind, we will honor his wish and fulfill it with love and respect. So as of August 6th, you're right. That was like a few days before the memorial service. He hadn't been cremated. So so now I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Oh yeah,
confusing.
Fox News has that too. So yeah, well, all right. So maybe she can get one. Or I mean, I know she can, but I don't know if they're doing it or not. Interesting. I don't know, man.
Hmm.
But I also want to know, like, I do want to hear like what Brooke thinks happened, like because my understanding from her own post too was like she hasn't spoken to him in years. So what does she know? Like, how does she know what she knows? If she didn't have a relationship with him and
But
she
sup-
hadn't been speaking to him.
but supposedly everybody from the hospital has been contacting her on Twitter and Instagram and telling her about all the stuff that's been going on.
Oh, I didn't see that.
That's
Um,
yeah, that's what part of Bubba said. The police officers the ambulance driver and the nurses that were on the floor.
Okay, yeah. Well, because I know he had her on too
Yeah.
after his death, and I just didn't hear her say any of that stuff. That's why I was like
So,
wondering what she
so I
was.
think this
That
was
answers that question.
so he posted this on August 18th on 2025. I don't think she was in the studio for this. I think this was just him doing this after he had her in there.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So, um,
Well,
yeah.
hopefully we'll. I mean, hopefully we'll find out. Although, not much you can do about it now. We'll have to see what they were doing.
Yeah, I don't. The Scientology thing just bugs me, but that's a personal thing. Um, yeah, I just hope. I kind of feel bad. This just keeps going on. Just like they can't really get to that point of where they could just grieve now, right?
No,
And it's like I don't think Bubba will stop talking about it until he's actually cremated,
probably not.
right? So it's
Probably not.
like, um, yeah. So yeah, yeah.
I'd love to hear like Eric comment on it. See what like I don't think he's going to because
So I was
I
gonna.
think Eric's going to be very much like I'm not getting into this. This was one of my best friends, and like I'm not going to like drag through all this shit. Like he's gone either way. So, but I would be interested because like you would think he would know exactly what was going on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. It just like I feel so weird that this is still out there. Like I feel like we're just gonna get dropped. Like we're gonna wake up one day and there's just gonna be some bombshell out there, right? Like
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
what it feels
they say
like.
where there's smoke, there's fire.
Well, especially with Scientology involved. Like,
Yeah, that too.
so I don't know. Terrible, but hopefully they can get through it and move on from it soon. Um, and he just rests in peace like he's supposed to, and not have his name constantly be brought up. But I guess Dan, as we approach the end of our podcast here, end of our podcast episode, um, a- 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 any crazy ideas you think could happen going forward with like this whole Seth and Roman and
Um, the only crazy idea I could hypothesize about would be, if for some reason they don't think the vision and the oracle and all that stuff is going well, is that they just take the title off Seth soon or
I was thinking
sooner,
that. So yeah,
right? Right? Like, maybe this isn't working. Maybe it was working better when he was not the champion. Let's give it to Punk for now. You know, like
yeah.
I don't know.
What if Jay is the one to become the fourth man?
That would be well. So that would be a crazy idea too, right? Like flip a guy that you wouldn't expect to flip to Seth. We talked about that a while ago. Could Cody be that person? Like which would be a weird dynamic, but
Yeah.
maybe it could work because it's so out there. Um, Jay.
There's no way that Paul gets Brock back, right?
No, I don't expect Brock to be around for too long.
I don't
I
either.
really don't. I really think this is one and done. I mean, maybe I'm wrong and it's like two or three, but I really, really think this is one and done. Um,
I think him and Cena have
I
at
mean,
least two
what could be
matches.
real crazy? What could be super super crazy, but I don't think would work would be Roman. Get Paul to bring Roman back in, and he can be the Oracle and the Wise Man at the same time. And Seth and Roman already have the history, right? And like, hey, maybe someday John Moxley's available again. Like, and then they could freaking run roughshod for a while. Like, you know, that would be real crazy. But I don't know that I could see the Roman Seth thing in that group, but could be interesting. You could break Braun out of it if you think Braun's the future. You could break Braun out of that group
Yeah,
in a way.
I was thinking about it, but if they're never gonna bring in, I don't think Braun's out of it until they bring in a fourth, because then it's not really a stable. If it's just Bronson and Seth, it's more of a tag team.
Yeah.
I think them bringing in a fourth is what pushes him out. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
that's what I'm saying though. Your fourth could be Roman if you want to go crazy. I mean, you asked crazy. That's kind of crazy.
No, I'm thinking about it, and I really like the idea of it.
And you basically what you end up doing there, I think at least, is you make them both champions. One of them gets Cody's belt and Seth keeps his or whatever, right? And then you've got Paul. Again, like I said, he's the Oracle and the Wise Man at the same time. And he's got two champions in the same stable. And everyone is chasing them.
Yeah,
Like maybe you break out Breaker at that point, but you still could have Bronson Reed as like this Uber security guy, right? And then you probably bring in another fourth, but it's not Braun Breaker. But you bring in another fourth that's like security for one. Bronson Reed's like security for Seth, and Roman gets a security guard again, right? And like, yeah, that could be real crazy. And the funny part about that is that story probably revolves more around Paul than anyone, but we'd still love it. The idea that Paul's managing two champions at the same time in the same stable in two different ways, but working together at also like shit, Jim. They just need to hire us. That's just the end of this. We just need to get in that room. Next season of Unreal, we just need to be in that booking room.
yeah, and give me the power to fight or to fire people.
Okay, well, they probably won't go that far, but let's just start with listening to our ideas.
That I'm not involved in.
Okay.
I'm not involved.
Hiring and firing privileges take a little bit of time to earn.
Not for me, don't. Nope. In or you don't give me. And one pumpkin spice a week. I don't care if it's out of season.
You, you want you want your own creative control.
Yeah, yeah. I want the WCW days back. Yeah, that's not in a contract, but supposedly there's a contract out there that is signed by both parties that says creative control, which is like
Hey, hey, man! If Dave Meltzer ever provides that contract to Eric Bischoff, he will eat it.
everybody will think it's a lie.
So
Yeah, yeah,
he says he'll eat it. He will dine on it.
yeah. So
Oh, I got one thing to ask you about.
yeah,
What do you think about AEW refusing to follow the judge's order to release the identity of all their owners? Did you see that story?
wait. I'm sorry. Repeat that.
Okay, so AEW
Mm-hmm.
and is being sued, right, by I think a cameraman or something for like I think an injury during a match
Was
with
it the?
Moxley, I think.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, yep.
Okay. So AEW wanted to move, if I have it correctly, it was like I think filed in federal court or state court, and they wanted to move it to federal, and they were giving a good reason to do that. But then the federal court granted the plaintiff's request that they need to list all their owners so that he can depose all of them. And AEW filed a redacted ownership report, basically. And the judge said, nah, can't do that. You can get away with that in state court, but you can't do that here. And they said, they tried to argue that, like, there was a reason why. I forget the reason, but they argued there was a reason why. And the judge said, no, here's your two options. You either do it, or this case goes back to state court or whatever. It goes back to the venue you wanted it out. And in the end, they decided to go back to the venue they didn't want to be in. They refused to file the paperwork that would show all of their ownership interests. And I just wonder why. Right? Like, who owns it that they're that worried about showing?
So I can tell you right now, when that came out that he refused to base the ownership, every bank that AEW is working with is double checking all their paperwork, and they're sending him requests as of 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Well, my guess is
So
that they
from the
probably
so from the financial side, this could get really tricky based on the regulations that are out there now. They can stop business with him if he doesn't disclose this, just based on everything that went down.
My guess would be is that he's not hiding it from those people, and like there's tax returns. I'm sure there has to be tax returns that show these things, but those aren't public, right? So the problem was the court filing was going to make it public.
Yeah.
Any of us could have logged in and found it, right? It's complete public record. He tried to put it under seal. The judge said no. They tried to redact it. The judge said no. So I actually I don't think that it's a matter that nobody knows. I'm sure financial institutions and I'm sure the government knows because, like I said, there's no way they're not filing that. Whoever owns it is filing that on their tax returns that they own a piece of it. It's income, right? They're not going to fuck around with a major program like that or a major stream of revenue like that. But what makes it that bad that you're afraid for the public to know, right? Like, who or what entity is it? And I know, like, the rumors in the past have been Dave Meltzer is a part owner. Obviously, there's a lot of people that says, that TNT Turner owns a portion of it, or Warner Brothers, whatever they are, WBD, which I'm not sure why you need to shield that so much, but like, okay. I'm just wondering who's on that list that they don't want people to see. I can't imagine it's Warner Brothers. It's got to be something else. Maybe it's Meltzer. Maybe it is Meltzer in the end, a small portion. And they don't want to admit it, that Meltzer owns a piece of it. I don't know. I just thought it's very funny that they're willing to sacrifice, because I think if I read it correctly, and it's been a couple of weeks since I read the article, if I read it correctly, like moving it back to the venue they're in now, it's more likely they're going to lose the lawsuit, or they're going to have to pay out a pretty big settlement to make it go away. And they had a better chance because the rules are different and the burdens are different in the venue they wanted to move to. So they sacrificed most likely losing this case to protect their identity of their owners. Very odd. Very, very odd.
This could take a turn.
have some shady ownership that they don't want us to know about.
Well, so I don't know if you remember when Shad bought the Jaguars. There were some questions where some funds came from back then too.
I don't remember, but I guess it doesn't shock me.
So it's like, did that just work its way down? Like, and with Tony being in Florida, the money laundering capital of the world, like, what if it comes out that Vince McMahon's involved? I mean, he did
Oh
own
my god,
e-
that would.
e-
Although,
ECW. That, but even though he said he wasn't funneling cash to them, did you ever read that book on it?
I've
Uh,
I don't know if I've read that book, but I've seen so many of those stories about like what he was doing with ECW, and obviously Paul's talked about it too. But um, that would be interesting though because
yeah, Todd is God,
I'd have to think.
written by
Yeah,
Sean
I'd have
Oliver.
to
Yep,
think. Yeah, yeah. I'd have to think though that like because when AEW like I'd have to think like there would be a problem for him with that being where he was in WWE and TKO at the time. Like the minute, well, no, they were public at the time when AEW started, right? So I don't even know if he could have done that. That would have been real shady if he owned it
he
when they
did.
were a public company.
He did everything for ECW under the table. That there there
Yeah,
was
but he was a private company then.
yeah,
But I just everything changes when you're public, right?
but he's a
Like,
serial pooper, Dan. Like, don't put it past him.
well, I'm not. Well, I'm just saying, like, it would have had to have been
Allegedly,
under the
because I don't
company.
want to get sued. Allegedly, he's a serial pooper. So
That's right. He hasn't been adjudicated
yeah.
yet.
Oh, easy on that
Um,
word, Dan. There's a big war going on right
he'll
there.
he'll only be civilly liable for being a serial pooper too. He won't be
Yeah,
criminally liable.
yeah, and
Um,
the way that the only attorney I can afford gets fooled by fake Twitter accounts, I would be screwed if I did get sued.
reminds me, I gotta text him and ask him if he has any other fake Adam Schefter news to share with me today. It's so funny every time he does it too, because then his wife is like, "Jesus, Doug." Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe that'd be funny. Like, well, maybe he bought a piece of it after he got kicked out of TKO. That would be hilarious. That would be. Although I feel like that would have gotten found out by now if it was true. You know,
Yeah, possibly.
maybe that's why Shane was so involved with them for a little while.
Well,
Maybe that was the cover.
that's what it is. Maybe it is Shane.
Oh, who cares? Yeah, I mean, I guess, but who cares? Like if it's Shane, like Shane's been out of, well, I guess in and out of that company, but like he's really been out of that company for a long time, and then he just made some random
No, but
appearances.
I just
Right?
think the world will run with it if there's a McMahon listed on that document, right? Doesn't have to be Vince, but they'll just take that in
Yeah,
fact and just run with it, and then it's like, well, yeah, but you got to remember his father hated him legitimately, like, so he wasn't never getting the WWE business.
right. And on top of that, like he left to run other businesses in the past and all that. Like it wouldn't shock me. To me, it wouldn't be that surprising if Shane like owned a little piece of it, but like if Vince owned a piece of it, that would be like groundbreaking news, right? Like that would be like all they talk about for a while. Um, and I guess that would be why you wouldn't want the public to know because there's a lot of bad PR that's with that.
Yeah,
A lot of bad PR.
yeah, yeah. It's interesting, man. Interesting. There's like, for how much we felt like we've been in kind of a mundane routine for wrestling in general, I feel like there's been a lot of like outside the ring stuff going on. Wouldn't you agree? Like, and like just like
Yeah,
uh you know um just like random stories too, right? Like nothing building to like surprise returns or signing this person or whatnot, but more or less like people finding out that Hulk Hogan was a Scientologist, like for the first time. All of a sudden, now his death is kind of, you know, got to get
right,
it checked, right? Like, you know what I'm
right.
saying? Like, it's just like, and then the whole last week and a half, yeah, the week and a half that you were gone ish, that was kind of like TNA. Well, there's a rumor that TNA might get a CW deal, or they're trying to talk to these smaller channels to get them on the air, right? Or like, do they take the Ring of Honor approach and get Fox to show them on at like 11 a.m. on a Saturday type thing, right? Like that type of stuff. And then the whole
Right.
carrying thing of like, well, no, is this, are they screwing with us? Or is this legit? And it's like, well, no, they're not screwing with, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's been more nuts outside the ring than it has been in the ring, which is kind of crazy because it's usually the other way around for WWE over the past 2 years. So interesting stuff. But yeah, so I don't know, damn. Should be good. Should be good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Hopefully, it picks up a little bit. I'm sure it will. And then we'll see what goes on from there. And you know,
Yeah, and go join
hopefully,
that
Clash
HBN
in Paris.
Unlimited.
Yeah, that too. Hopefully, Clash in Paris is a better show than we expect. That's all.
Yeah,
We will see.
I've been thinking about it while we've been going through this episode. Real quick before we end this, how do you think they do this women's title? Just qualifying matches all over again?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tournament. I would assume a tournament, and my guess is that Stephanie probably just gets a bye to the final, right? Like, since she had a title opportunity, unless you want to say she can use the title opportunity for the other championship, but I don't know. I think it's going to be a tournament or whatever. Yeah, like some qualifiers to get to a championship match, and Stephanie's just going to be the person they're facing because she's earned a title shot already. Seems like the easiest option for sure.
So the question we've been dying to ask: does Rhea get the title back?
Um,
I think it goes to Stephanie. I think Stephanie takes it. I think they're ready for Stephanie to take it.
Probably. I mean, I guess that's the question. Did we think Stephanie would take it from Naomi? So if we thought she was going to win against Naomi, then yes, like
I don't
it
think
seems like
I don't think the first time around she would have won it. I think we would have had a,
a trio or something.
yeah. Yeah, because I thought Naomi was going to pull something sneaky again, which enables Stephanie to her challenger request or whatever it is for a rematch, and or maybe it ends up in a triple threat after that.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Yeah, yeah. So, I don't know. Interesting stuff. A lot going on. Look forward to what's happening. And we'll be back next week, Daniel.
Next week.
It's the same Tuesday after Raw. Oh, wait, real
Yeah,
quick.
should be.
Well, final thing, I promise. Did you see the post? Starting, was it the next month? WWE could moved to an earlier time slot on Raw.
Earlier than 8 o'clock on Netflix. Earlier than 8 o'clock. That's interesting.
Um, yeah, hang on. Let me see if I can. Yeah, so Springfield and Massachusetts. If you look it up, I guess it's 6:30 for taping. Start times 3 hours September. Start times of three
Oh,
September Raws
I wonder if that's
for
because
football.
of travel.
For,
Oh, football.
well, hold on, but that hasn't stopped speculation that the move could be to limit the time Raw is head to head against Monday Night Football. I wonder if this is part of the ESPN deal.
Well, either that or they just recognize like we don't have to go at 8 p.m. because again, we're not on cable. We can
Yeah,
do. I mean, I know they said like you can't really do whatever you want, but like obviously you can do whatever you want. Like Netflix can tell you we'll we'll start the feed at 6:30 if you say to start the feed at 6:30. Like you're not interrupting anything, so it's like you
no,
really can do whatever you want. Um, I was thinking like maybe they were doing stuff to get out for traveling to go to France, but I guess that doesn't make sense either. Um, yeah, I mean, I guess that could work. I mean, the way I look at it is, to be honest, I haven't been watching it on Mondays nights. I've been watching it Tuesday during the day.
I've been watching
Um,
the beginning of it to check the promos, and then I see what the second match is gonna be, and then I kind of just catch it up like you said on Tuesdays.
yeah, it just depends. Like for me, like on what's going on. So I might do the same thing, or like I follow along a little bit on social media while I'm doing other stuff, and then tune in if there's something I want to see. But mostly, I'm just waiting. I'm just following up on Tuesday and watching the whole thing. So, like to me, it doesn't matter if they do 6:30 or 8 or midnight. To be honest, like
Yeah,
so, yeah, it's interesting.
yeah. I think it's for those three in September. So
Hmm. Yeah, I guess we could see that through all of football season. You know, I guess if you don't have to go head to head, why go head to head? They've always talked about that. Like they get a big ratings dip on Monday Night Football games, so you know, I guess might as well alleviate that a little bit.
yeah, yeah, should be interesting. Yeah, I don't mind it either way. I just thought random, and I wonder if it was a discussion that had within the ESPN deal that they're like, all right, you scratch our back, we'll scratch yours. But then again, like yours makes sense too. So should be interesting. But until next Tuesday, same time, same place. We'll be back then. We will be back. So
Will
catch up on your WWEs. I gotta finish Unreal, and I gotta catch up on LFG season 2. Have you watched LFG season 2? All right, that's what we're gonna
no
do, Dan.
actually.
That's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
That'll be a
Okay.
segment in the show. LFG. Ha! Look at that. Plays for itself. Um, yeah. Watch SmackDown this week. Get ready. AEW's been decent from what I hear, so I'm gonna try and catch up on a few things I have DVR'd this weekend. Other than that, just enjoy all of it. So much to watch. TNA. Um, if I could watch Defy Wrestling, I would. Just see my boy Carrion. I'm kind of heartbroken over that, but
Oh,
probably won't get over it.
by the way, Jim, I know we keep saying one more thing, but you know, just to get you a little salty at the end of this, did you see WWE's newest trademark registration?
No.
Scott Dawson.
All right. Until then, next Tuesday, We'll catch up then. Adios, folks. Like, comment, subscribe. This will be up sometime tomorrow evening. We are back on X. Got it back, Dan. Got it back after a few emails, and we are on Instagram. Follow there. Adios, folks.
He's gonna go put a hole in his wall.
Dad, don't piss me off.